Hello sunshines, welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. Today is Saturday the 21st of June 2025 and welcome. I'm Heather, known as BunniPhish all the places, and it has been a week. It has been I'm gonna go over life stuff. I promise it'll be really fast, like a minute or less. This week has been tough. It's my first full week of summer vacation, and started out the week strong, super productive, everything great. On Wednesday, I unfortunately had to be the adultiest adult in my life and take someone very close to me to the ER because they were having the worst manic episode that I've ever seen them in. And then, from the ER, getting them into an inpatient program and just dealing with all of that. So it's been a tough week. Okay, done. But on Monday, it was super fun. We went to the beach. I took a sweater that I love, a beautiful $5 in Paris. It's gorgeous. It's made out of yarn from Shipwreck Sheep, I believe. I made it a long time ago, the sweater, and I wore it twice. So I took it to the beach and I took a little bucket to soak the yarn because I frogged the yarn, and I soaked it at the beach and I hung it in a tree and let it dry in a tree while we were there because we were there for like 8 hours. And for some reason, when I am destructing things kind of, like sweaters and stuff, I like to do it outside because then all the little fuzzies, you don't have to clean them up in the house, and I don't know, I just like to do it outside. I have plans to cut up all of those jeans in my closet, and I plan to do it at the beach. So that's just how my brain works on that. I have plans for that. I really wanted to start a sweater this week, but I did not. It's okay. I'm going to swatch for it hopefully tomorrow or Monday and get the sweater started soon. But that was Monday, and then Tuesday my kids and I went to see 2 movies. We saw How to Train Your Dragon. So good. They took out one scene that I feel is pretty integral to the story, to the plot. It's a very short scene. I don't know why it didn't make the cut. But very good. And I promise this is all relevant to knitting and stuff. And then we went to see Lilo and Stitch, and that was super cute. They did change it up a little bit. Actually, they stayed really, really true to the core ideas of Lilo and Stitch, but there was more about the social worker and stuff. And did it make me cry so much? Yes, it did. But it was so good. It was so good. And of course, movie day means movie knitting. So I'm going to insert a clip that I took on Tuesday. Hey sunshines. So it's Tuesday the 17th, and I'm going to the movies all day with my kids. We're going to go see How to Train Your Dragon in the morning, and then Lilo and Stitch in the afternoon. And in between, there's maybe a 2-hour break where we're just going to picnic lunch. So I brought a whole bunch of knitting. Actually, not as much as I planned to. I did cast on the second flower bed sock, but I must have left that on my bed, which is my staging area for packing things. So whatever, it's fine. I was just gonna knit the cuff today because it's just 2x2 rib and I could do that in the theater. But anyway, sorry, there's construction we're in the outsides. It's loud. Anyway, what I did bring was this sock right here, which hopefully you've already seen the summer solstice Yarny YouTube video, and this is finished. I'm working on the gusset right now. Ideally, I will have this gusset done before we go into the movies because we got here ridiculous early also to have breakfast because my daughter wanted to stop at Starbucks. So we did, but got here like an hour before our movie started. It's fine. So gusset on this. And then I would like to get all the way down the foot today. So I just have the toe. I have this project for picnic time because it does require just the slightest bit of like paying attention because there's slip stitches every other round, and maybe I could do it in a dark theater, but I don't know. I don't trust myself that much. But if I get this through the gusset, then it's just straight stockinette, right? I also have this sock, this Croy sock from my best friend in the blueberry stripes colorway. And yeah, I am through the gusset on this one, so this is just straight knitting down the foot. And I have the second one cast on. And so, you know, if I could get through the leg on this today, that would be cool. That's a lot of knitting. I mean, it is 2 movies, so maybe, but it is a lot of knitting. I do also, of course, I also have a backup project. I also brought the cowl. So, you know, once I get through the first movie, I can assess how much knitting I need to bring, like if I should switch something out or not. But those are my thoughts. This is where I'm starting. So wish me luck. Oh, also, I don't normally wind Croy socks. Like, obviously you can see I just work from the skein as it comes, but this was going in the opposite direction as the first one. And while I know my best friend wouldn't care, and sometimes I don't care if stripes match, but yesterday I did, so I rewound it. It's fine. I have finished things. The first one I briefly mentioned in that video, but I forgot it at home. So the first one, this pattern is called Flawless Flower Beds. It is coming out on June 26th. It's by Alendria Knits. Look how pretty it is. Oh. See it? Trying to catch the light. I know the lighting situation in here is not great. I believe I mentioned on here a couple weeks ago that I intend to move my bedroom around. I still do. That is still my intent. I have been making, like I've been moving little things around, but not the furniture. And I need to do that. But here's the first one. So last week I was here. I just had to finish a repeat and the toe, and I did. I had cast this on before the movies, and I had intended to take the cuff and work on the cuff at the movie, but I forgot it on my bed. So, because that's where I pack my stuff. I have a whole house. I have a whole house, but I really just stay in my bedroom with all of my stuff. So, my kids are teenagers. They use the whole house. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm through the heel on this, and my goal, because it's being released on the 26th, which is a week from yesterday, my goal is to have this sock finished in time to post my finished pair when the pattern is released. Totally doable. I can easily do a repeat a day, and as you can see from the first sock, I have 4 repeats. Sorry, it's covering my face there. I have 4 repeats on the foot and the toe. So it should be easy to accomplish this in the next 6 days, especially because it's still morning time. Ugh. I woke up at 9 a.m. this morning because I didn't go to sleep until 5 a.m. So it feels really early to me still, but it also feels so late because it's like 11. And I'm like, I slept my whole day away. It's okay. It's okay. I don't have obligations today, so it's fine. But I should be able to finish this by next week. If I don't, I don't know. If I don't come for me, honestly, because it's just, life is lifing right now. Oh, I did want to point out though, look at this. Can you tell that there's 2 extra rounds of the cuff on this one? Except there's not. Like, so I'm thinking that when I block it, the cuff will get stretched out and it'll be shorter like this one. Because I counted the number of rounds on each of them. But this one just looks much longer. It's fine. My aunt will still wear it. I also talked about this yarn right here, which is Croy socks in the blue raspberry colorway. I don't have the tag over here. I think that's right. I definitely said it last week. If you're really curious, drop it down in the comments. I will find the tag and put the information below. But I finished the first sock. So I was here last week, just about to start the heel, and I did do the foot at the movies. I think I finished the entire foot at the movies. I also had this one that I had just cast on, so I did a few rounds of the ribbing. Definitely didn't finish the ribbing at the movies, and I put in a little tiny bit of work in the last few days, but it hasn't been my focus project. The flawless flower beds have been my focus project, other than my what's that called? My 100 days project. And then I did also finish another pair of socks. I made them for my boyfriend, and I was so excited, and I gave them to him, and I didn't record about them. But I did take a picture, and he hasn't worn them yet. So rude. But I did take a picture. Those were made out of Knit Picks Felici in I have the last little bit of the second skein right here, in the Silent Film colorway. In case you're wondering, I knit all of my non-Croy socks on US size 0 2.0 millimeter needles, and I knit my Croy socks on US size 1 2.25 millimeter needles. And then let me check in about a whole bunch of socks. Let's see, let's talk about not the ones I cast on this week. I am this much further on the Sirena sock. This is going to start going more quickly because after the flower beds, this is going to be my focus. Well, these 2 socks are going to be my focus, because on top of finishing that second flower bed sock, I want to finish this second sock this week. Maybe not this week, but by the end of June. I want this done in June. It's one of my crafty goals, and in my update video, which I'm recording at the end of June, I would just like this square to be finished. And in order for the square to be finished, I have to have both of these pairs of socks done. I'm on the second sock of both. I, just have the foot, the gusset, the foot, the toe to go on that. I'm 1 pattern repeat away from the heel on that sock, but on this sock, you can see that I have a pattern repeat on the front of the sock, but just stockinette on the back of the sock for 1 repeat. So that means it's going to go faster because stockinette is obviously faster than lace. And then the bottom of the foot obviously isn't patterned, so that will go faster. This yarn is Knit Picks Dogwood Heather. I also worked on my pencil sock. So let me go ahead and unwrap it. Okay. Oh, it looks so cute. It looks so good. This is where I was. This marker. This is about to be so exciting. I am about to start color work on the foot. So this is like, the sock is doing the most, but in my most favorite way, because I have a folded hem, I have ribbing down here, I have, a slightly patterned leg, just some slip stitches, but now I'm going to do color work on the foot, because when you sharpen a pencil that has 6 sides, not so much the pencils that are round, but the ones with 6 sides, you kind of get like a chevron thing, and I'm going to do that in color work. Like, I guess I could have figured out a way to do something with short rows or with chevrons or something for the wood part of the pencil, but I'm going to do color work. So I really want this sock to be done next week too. That's a lot of work though. I mean, it's not that much. It's only 20 rounds left to go on this foot. I think 5 of them, it's either 5 or 10 of them are color work, and then the rest are stockinette in the horchata colorway, and then a black toe. I can't remember. I sketched out a chart. So I'm excited for that. Oh, the sock is going to be so cute. And then I just need to knit another one before school because, okay, so I have this new dress that I got, and it's got books on it, and wouldn't it be cute for the first day of school to wear this dress with these pencil socks? So I need to make the second pencil sock. I have plenty of time before the first day of school. We're only one whole week into summer break. So I also worked on, oh, nope, this is the wrong bag. I changed out which bag a project was in. Where did I put that one? This one holds the yarn for the pencil sock now. But it used to hold the sock project for my kiddo. So it's chapstick. And I guess we'll pause and I will find where I put that project bag. That was an easy find. It was under me. I sat on it. I also worked on my oldest kiddo's thigh highs. So I did 2 stripes this week, which is awesome. If I could keep that momentum, that would be amazing. I'm really going to try, because once school's back in session, I know it's so far away, but it's really not. But once school's back in session, like, I'll just have less time for knitting. So I'm really trying this summer, because this is when I have time. I'm really trying to knock out as many of my holiday knits as possible. So 2 stripes on this. It's just 2x2 rib for now. I think I have 2 more stripes and then I start the decreases. So the yarn on this is Cattails Knits in the Gleeman's Cloak colorway. I don't remember the base, but it does have some sparkle in it. I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but it's got some gold stellina in it. And then Knit Pick Stroll in the black colorway. And then I started 2 new socks, because why not? Because I had the needles free, that's why. I found one of my US 1 size 1 needles, so of course I had to cast on another Croy sock. This one's going to be not very exciting. It's going to be plain vanilla. It's for my sister's boyfriend. He wears, I don't know, size 11, I think, shoes. Basically, I'm going to cast on I think it's 72 stitches. It might be like 68. I don't remember. I'm going to do heel flap, or I'm going to do like 10 rounds of cuff, 10 rounds of leg, heel flap, heel turn, gusset, and then from the back of the heel to past my toe is how long I measure to make sure it's long enough for his foot. And then I put on the toe. It's just going to be a stockinette. It's going to be plain, easy peasy, just so that I can have a plain vanilla easy peasy sock, because there are going to be more movie days coming up. We're already planning a possible double feature for this coming week. So I actually have to figure out what I want to take to that. But here we are on this. It's just Patton's Croy sock in the Gentry gray color. It's going to be boring, but it's going to be a project or a holiday gift is what I mean. And then I cast on because I finished the socks for my boyfriend. I had that needle free, so I just picked up another Felici. This one is in the ribbon candy colorway, and I'm going to make knot shorties for my youngest kiddo. So I did 2 stripes for the cuff. The colors are very similar, but I think you can tell that one's like a lighter pinky purple and one's a slightly darker pinky purple. And then it goes into blue, green, purple, and then this stripe that I don't know if you can tell, but it is a speckled, like a really light purpley pink stripe with purple and aqua speckles on it. It's super cute. So I'm just gonna make a pair of socks for my littlest kiddo. I didn't want to do vanilla for this one just because I'm doing so many vanilla. Am I really? I guess I'm doing a Croy vanilla, two vanilla Croy socks, and then like everything else is not vanilla. But like I didn't want to do another vanilla sock. I don't know why. But I also didn't want to do something very, very patterned because I do have the colorwork sock, the lace sock, and then my pencil sock, which is about to have colorwork on it. So I didn't want to do that. So what I've decided to do is I am going to alternate stockinette stripes with garter stitch stripes. So I am purling. I am not doing the thing where you make a wrap and turn sort of idea or a short row turn, however you want to do it, and then you just knit like back and forth, but you do a turn. I'm not doing that because I don't want that seam, because I am not starting. I'm starting the rounds where for the garter stitch, I'm just starting it where the color changes, not necessarily at the back of the sock. So I didn't want a really big, super visible seam. I know that it's possible that some discerning eyes will be able to see where the stitches change from knit to purls on the sock, but I don't think my kiddo will. And I wanted something a little bit different than just stockinette forever. Not that there's anything wrong with stockinette forever, it's just not my favorite. But there is this sock. So I'm currently purling as I'm talking to you. Okay. I have 2 more projects to talk to you about. I guess we'll talk about this blanket first. So I haven't shown this on the vlog in a very long time. This is not a pattern. I am making this blanket, and if you wanted a pattern similar, the lady, I don't know, the person who does the nor'easterly has a pattern feel like it's called like something like Flying North or something. But I don't know for sure what it's called. Basically, it's just like strips that make a chevron, but you don't knit the chevron. Like you knit in opposing diagonals like this. But I'm not using that pattern. I started this blanket well before that pattern came out, and I'm pretty sure that blanket is a join as you go sort of deal. This one's not. This, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. This is joined with a very arduous join. I don't know why I do these things to myself, but I do. On the edges, there's these slip stitches, and you single crochet into one on one side and then single crochet into the one on the other. And I think I figured out that I have somewhere between 200 and 250 stitches, I think is what I figured out. I think. So it's a lot. The stripes go this way. So they go horizontal instead of vertical, or the strips do. I guess. I don't know. But I like to make everything as big as the top of my queen size bed. Like that's my goal for all blankets. And running this way, it's the width of my queen size bed. Could I stop sooner and just decide that it's going to be a smaller blanket throw? Absolutely. Totally could do that. But I'm probably not going to do that. I'll probably just be working on this forever. But anyway, on a day earlier this week, I think it was Sunday, I realized that I had done something silly. So let's go back and check in with Heather from Sunday.
Hey, sunshines. It is Saturday, Heather. So here's the blanket. And I was looking for the strip. Sorry if I'm repeating myself from Saturday to all the way back to Sunday, because that's a long time to remember. I was looking for the strip that I had the Knit Picks minis in, because I wanted to knit more Knit Picks and minis in. And then I realized that it is longer than my other bias strips by a lot. So I started putting the strips together. And you'll see all of this already, I'm sure. But I figured out that if I split right before the Knit Picks minis, or well, here's the right side. If I split right before there and then knit this into a corner, I will have to knit very few straight rows to make that work. So that actually kind of works perfectly, even though that's a little stressful. So not really stressful, just not what I thought I was going to do when I picked up this project today. So yeah, I'm going to find the end for the gray, and I'm going to pick out the last row of gray and then knit it back up and knit my Knit Picks yarns this way, I guess. And then when I knit my last Knit Pick yarn, I'll square off the corner going this way with it. Maybe. I don't know.
So in the video in question, this strip right here was the one that was too long. So I did end up like unpicking the yarn from the strip. I did split it at the Knit Picks stroll yarn, and then I knit with this just I don't know what this yarn is, but it's pretty. I finished off the strip with that because I wanted it to go in this blanket anyway, and it looked nice where it was. I'm a little precious, but not super precious about yarn placement in this blanket. I do have rules for it though. So if the yarn is tonal, semi-tonal, variegated, then it goes into the blanket for a multiple of 5 ridges. So like this is a 5, this is a 10. If the yarn is self-striping, then it goes into the blanket for a full stripe or pattern repeat. So I've worked on this blanket quite a bit this week. I finished off that strip and got that into the blanket, but then I also, the whole point was to put the stroll in, right? So this is where I split it, and I put in these 2 stripes of stroll. I also, because this was the live end when I picked up the strip, and this is where I picked it apart, I just went ahead and finished off that live edge because I do have some more strolls that I want to go in, and I just want them to be on this side because that's what my brain says needs to happen in this strip. So I did that. So this is new, and I also put in the Knit Picks silent film right there. So it's so cute. This blanket is so cute. I did work on some other blankets this week, but this is the one that I'm showing you this week, so you're not inundated with blankets. I kind of want to do a little bit of a blanket tour because I feel like it's been a while since I've shown off my blankets. Is that something that people would be interested in? If you'd like to see it, put it down below. That would be later this summer. But like, I have so many blankets in progress. I have 9, I think. 9 blankets in progress. And then I have, I think I only have, well, I have 3 that I could show you. I have 2 that are finished and in really good condition. And I still have my very first scrappy mitered square blanket. And it has seen way better days. There's like holes in it and stuff, but I can't get rid of it. Like that blanket has been through a lot, including being my late dog's favorite blanket. And she, you know, may have scratched some holes in it. And did I yell at her? No, because she was a little old lady at the time. All right, one last project. And again, this isn't everything that I've worked on this week. It's just what I've made enough progress on that I feel like it's worth showing. So this is how much I've done on this wrap thing that I'm doing from here to here. This other marker right here is showing me the beginning of this ball. Look how flimsy it is. This ball of mohair that I'm holding together with Knit Picks Stroll fingering. Look at how depleted these yarns are. That's exciting. So once I finish off this, I think I have, it's either 6 or 7. I'll put the number right here in the window, so you can know how many more balls of mohair I have to go. But that way I can just for me, I can estimate about how long this is going to be. Look at how cute those stripes are in the chevrons. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, it's so cute. I really, really like it. I did have, the only reason I'm showing this to you, by the way, because I was like, like in my head, I was like, oh, I'll just check in on this project like once a month. It's not super exciting. Like, it'll get longer, but there's not a lot to say about the pattern because I'm not using a pattern. I'm just doing, just a chevron, increases, decreases at the stitch markers. But can you see this right here? Do you see that? So I was knitting along, and sometimes I knit and read, and sometimes I just knit. But I definitely think I was reading while I was working on this, and somehow I autopiloted, and instead of decreasing, so this point has decreases, instead of decreasing, I was increasing. And so I saw it, and I was like, oh no. And I was much more successful on this side at fixing the issue. On this side, the yarn is still kind of loose. I figure it'll be fine after it blocks, or it'll at least be less noticeable after it blocks. But it's also like on an end and near a corner, so I feel like it's really not that big of a deal. And I was not about to tink back. I think it would have been 7 rows of mohair. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. So I made it work. It's back on track. I'm really, like, I really feel like if I didn't point out that there's like something wonky going on there, I don't think you'd notice. So I'm not too worried about it. But I am really pleased that that I'm being consistent about making progress on this, because I feel like this could easily be a project that I just set aside and never work on. Not because there's anything wrong with it, just because, like, it's not the most exciting. It's not the most rewarding. I don't love the yarn the most. Like, there's all these reasons why it could get set aside. But I haven't been. I've been most days this week. I've done 2 ridges, which is my goal, my soft goal. Does that make sense if I say it like that? Like, that's what I want to do, but I don't really kick myself if I don't do it. Like, on Wednesday, I didn't do anything. I did very little of things. I read. I know I read some, but I did knit, but like such an infinitesimal amount. But speaking of reading, I finished reading Tar Baby. I personally felt like the last chapter I could have lived without. Like, it wasn't additive in any way to the story for me, but I'm sure it's there for a reason. Toni Morrison is brilliant. It just, I don't know. It was lost on me, and that's okay. But overall, the story was intriguing, and it dealt with a lot of issues, which I really, really appreciated. There's a content warning for me for that, about racism, classism, domestic violence. I think that's it. Oh no. Like domestic violence between partners, but then also parental abuse of a child is alluded to. So could be triggering, just so you know. And then I started and finished Last Summer on State Street by Toya Wolf, which was really, really good. So it follows Felicia, who goes by Fifi, the summer that she's 12, and she and her family live in the projects, and the projects are being torn down. And she has 3 friends that summer, and it's just talking about like the relationships that specifically little black girls have with each other, and like adultification and expectations of children in the black community, like, and the girls are very, very different, super different. Only one of them has both parents. One of them is in a family that's like, it's all gangbangers. One of them is just in a very abusive household. So lots of trigger warnings all over the place, but so good and so interesting. And this is probably going to sound ridiculous, but like reminds me of my neighborhood a lot. I live in a really like low income area. The school that I teach in, I think the latest statistic, it was either like somewhere between 90 and 95% of our families fall under the poverty line. So, and I live in that neighborhood. Like that's my I live close to where I teach. So, yeah, it just, I don't know. I felt a lot of what was going on in here. It's so good. I think it's so good. It's heavy. It's short. It's only 210 pages, I think. 212 with the acknowledgments. So good. Very heavy. Very heavy. But very good. This is a five round read for me on my reading blanket. It's gonna be 5 rounds because it's just so good. And then I started, but just barely, because I finished this in the middle of the night when I wasn't sleeping. I started Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. And I am reading this off the recommendation of Shelby, from Shelby in the book club. And it's kind of a post-apocalyptic sort of thing. I'm only 6 pages in. And first thing, the first line of the book is, they killed themselves. All of them, all at once. So all of the white people in America walk into bodies of water. I'm not really like spoiling things. That's the first couple pages. So now it's like a year later ish after that happened. And so we get to see what happens when, I think Shelby said it's specifically black people. It's not like all people, but we'll see. I could be misremembering that. We'll see what happens when all the white people are gone. So I am really interested to read this book. I feel like I'll be done with it the next time I talk to you. There's about 300 pages. So seems likely. 286 pages. So I feel like it's going to go fast. I also enjoy the writing style so far. I feel like 6 pages in, I'm going to know whether or not I like the writing style. So it's interesting. I'm very interested in reading this book. I can't wait to talk about it next week when it will probably be done. All right, friends. Whew. Sorry, the week just hit me again. I hope that whatever you're coping with right now is not more than you can handle. And I'm sure things will be fine. I'm sure I'll be fine. right? The starting of the process, I feel like, is probably the hardest part. So this coming week should be easier. Also, in Michigan, and where I'm at in Michigan, we've been having crazy storms. Are you having bizarre weather where you are? Like, it, there was a tornado in our area ish, not like in my immediate area, but like in my county on Wednesday, and flash flood warnings, and it's supposed to storm. I think we're done with the storms this morning. I think that's why I finally slept, because a storm came through. I don't think we have more storms today. I think we might not have any until Tuesday. But like, it's just been so many storms. And it's supposed to be super ridiculous hot. So I hope wherever you are, you're staying safe from the weather and you're doing okay. I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing my best to do okay. So I will see you in a week. And take care of yourselves, okay? And take care of your people, even when it's hard, even when you don't want to be the adultiest adult. All right, friends. Bye for now.